Oh my god, that sounds like it hurt. I slammed the door into that. Let's have a look at that. Oh. Right, so it's the final full day. We're going to spend the day checking cisterns again, and then we're undecided on what to do tonight. It's been raining, so it's on and off rain. It's not that warm, but it's going to be quite humid, and obviously Bitis, species of tropical origin, it's a bit favourable for the old humidity, so we thought maybe we'll target Bitis again. But this habitat here, I've found dead Daboia, dead Naja. We've just seen how many dead Naja? 4 in cisterns, so they're around. And there's obviously these cracking stone walls and bits of rocky outcrop, so in this kind of colder weather with intermittent sun there'll be stuff out basking, so hopefully we can find something in situ rather than just finding loads of dead stuff. Cock. So this is perfect habitat for Daboia, Naja, Bitis, sort of that mix of sort of shrubby vegetation. There's old Apuntia, so prickly pear cactus, which would have been green all across this. All across this mountainside, but there's a beetle, basically a pest beetle, that that's been destroying them all, so that's why they're all dead. But it's perfect as well. If you look at the bases of all of these, you can just imagine snakes being curled up.
Wow.
Right, we've got another sand snake. Another day, another cistern.
Fuck me, that's a lot bloody way down, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Okay.
Oh, bloody hell. Embarrassing. I'll get my fucking leg in there.
Down?
Huh?
You down?
Yeah.
Down. Trish, take on. He can sustain himself on one snake. drink that? You like taste? I don't reckon you can drink the fly. Fucking have it.
Coming on, you on?
Yep.
This is the hard bit.
I mean, it's not exactly soft going down. Better hold on to the wood.
That's what she said.
Where's the snake?
Oh shit. I left it down there.
Yeah, right.
I'm joking, I've tied it to the end of the... Tied the snake in a boat.
Right.
That is.
Do you want to faint for the video?
He's dead. Right, so I'm still out of breath. Just going to release him into this stone wall. We're taking him away from the system so we don't just go straight back in. He's actually not in bad condition really. So hopefully we've saved his life. Come on, little fella. Now it's starting to rain, which means Bitis tonight. The next system we came across had 4 horseshoe whip snakes inside, and many more dead. Before flipping all of these rocks with my hand, I made sure to flip them first with a hook, as you never know what's going to be underneath. And after bagging the final snake, I tried my best to get back out. So, as always, when catching a whip snake in Morocco, you need to check between the 2 species that can be found there, the horseshoe whip snake and the Algerian whip snake. Now, the best way to do this is to check the supralabial scales on the head. We'll talk about that shortly. So, the supralabial scales are the scales bordering the mouth along the upper jaw. And in particular, the key area to look is whether any of the supralabials touch the eye. So as you can see in this individual, the 6th supralabial touches the eye. So that means we can generally rule this out as Hemorrhois hippocrepis, or the horseshoe whip snake. The key factor of identifying the horseshoe whip snake is that the supralabial scales do not touch the eye, and they're separated by a row of scales called the supraoculars. So, as we circle back to this specimen from yesterday, we can see the sixth supralabial touches the eye, but it has the colour and patination of a horseshoe whip snake. Now, what can occur is as the two species overlap, you can get hybrids, and I think that this may be the case here. However, as a final note, it has been noted that some Hippocrepis will have supralabial scales that touch the eye. So, to be honest, this whole thing was a massive waste of time. My opinion, it's a horseshoe whip snake crossed with an Algerian whip snake. So there is a Venomous in here, which is the fat sand rat. He's pretty worse for wear. We'll get him out. Still alive. So this is the prey of the cobra and the bitis. So that makes all the holes that you see everywhere that we're going to sort of herp around tonight. I really want to pick him up because he's a bit. I'll just scruff him by the back of the neck. So as you can see, he's not doing too well, to be honest, the poor fella. But we'll chuck him down a nearby hole, and then, worst comes to worst, he's prey for a cobra. Right, so, being that this is a informative channel for your herpetological expeditions and needs, we want to review the equipment that you can use. And one of the most important ones is your vehicle. So, going to do a little review. So, assistant here, we'll cut it off there, pause it there. After we checked another empty cistern, we got back to our car review. But it turns out we're not exactly the grand tour. It's got a boot.
It's got
a boot.
Back seats.
Yeah, it's got a boot and some seats. You don't want a sore arse, sore back. Yeah.
And if you don't know what a bollock cooler is, look it up.
Then yeah, oh yeah.
That is cracking. So,
It doesn't really matter too much, but if you compare it to something like a pickup,
3 big bags, 3 camera bags.
you've got a sore arse.
That's cracking.
River. We're on the hunt for some amphib, loads of food.
Loads of food, which is never great. At the end of the day, you're sleeping in the car. Not good.
So we forgot to do a review. No, we didn't. We did a.
No,
we forgot to do the score. So for me, I don't know. Genius reward scheme.
It's not undoable.
Yeah. So
But it's not
not
amazing.
good.
But
Okay. About 270 quid. No. Off-road capability.
off-road capability.
It's really important. There's a cracking system there. Yeah.
We would have actually chosen a Dacia.
We would have.
As we approached the small river, we decided to get out and check in the hope of more amphibs. But me and Charlie just couldn't give it a rest.
Finally,
Economy?
so that's important. We've driven
A lot.
400, 500 miles, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, as me and Charlie drone on in the background, we got back to the mission at hand and set about to do what we're actually good at, finding some herbs.
So, no luck there. What the plan is for now is we're going to check cisterns all the way to where we're going to get tea tonight, or dinner tonight. And then we're going to check out an area that I know is good for Bitis. There's a lot of Venomous burrows, so your fat sand rat burrows. And we'll cruise like a dried wadi, like a dried riverbed, and maybe we'll find some. But for now, cistern checking time still, hoping for that Naja, hoping for that Daboia. Right, so we're just out hiking, looking for Bitis now. We've got camel tagine on order. It's being cooked for us right now, and we're looking for Bitis. So life cannot get much better than that. But we're in an area with loads of those fat sand rat burrows, so we're just going to check for animals coming out of the burrows now.
After no luck on foot, we got back in the car and started road cruising, checking a few areas along the way. At one point, we stopped at a small dried riverbed, and we found something pretty cool. So this is Chameleon, or the common chameleon, sometimes known as the Mediterranean chameleon, being that this is the only native species of chameleon found in Europe. And that's where I've seen it before. I've never been lucky enough to come across an individual in Morocco.
Right, so we just pulled her down just to show the camera. We're only going to do that with this one. Obviously, we don't want to disturb her. We'll put her right back where she was. But it's actually a female, so it's a pretty big female as well. Males obviously getting larger than the females. They're always really aggressive chameleons. When you pick them up, they let out that loud hiss, and they do bite as well. Now, the reason we found her where we found her is what they do is they sleep on sort of the thinner twiggy branches at the tops of the trees. That's just to get away from predators, so snakes would be a prime example.
So after we'd taken a couple of photos of her, we popped her right back where we found her and continued down the riverbed, where we actually found a couple more chameleons, and some nicer green ones at that. But I managed to record over the video, so you're not going to see them.
Right, so welcome to the final day, unfortunately. It started off very well. Look at this fella. He was just crossing the road. Quite a big one. But we're going to pop him over there, get some photos. And we've saved his little life, I think, because there was a car just about to run over him, and we've just been bollocked by a man for stopping on the road.
The Moorish tortoise is becoming increasingly harder to find in Morocco. This is mainly due to over-collection and to habitat loss. In a lot of places, a lot of gardens, even some hotels you go to, you see these guys just wandering around the garden where people have picked them up and placed them there. So it's nice to see this one in the wild. Unfortunately, on this final day, we didn't have too much time to herp before we had to get our flight, but we headed to some good-looking areas for the Moorish Viper, Daboia mauritanica. But first, we were bloody hungry.
Right, so since we're not finding any herbs, we're going to show a cracking sandwich selection. Salami, jambon de turkey, de dinde, avocado, spinach, emmental, cheese and wraps. And look at that view. Right. Yeah, I was hungry. Where is he?
As Sonny and Charlie spotted a pelophylax, I'd forgotten I'd left my mic on, so I kind of ruined the audio a little bit. Oh, why have I come this way? What a bloody stupid idea that was. My foot was wet anyway, it literally fell in. I just walked through the stream. What have I just stood on there? Oh, great. Just stood a load of dog shit. For God's sake. After I'd removed the excrement, I wasn't done ruining the video. I then proceeded to breathe like a jet engine down the mic.
What was it? Pelophylax? Right, so this is Venomous leprosa, or the Spanish terrapin. The only difference with the Moroccan individuals is they've got that blue eye. So down here, south of Agadir, where we are now, Venomous leprosa is the only turtle that you find down here. And there is Emis orbicularis up north as well. But they were just basking on that rock down there. There was a couple of them. So this is obviously perfect habitat for Venomous. If I just sneak up over this edge here, there's a smaller individual basking on a rock, I think, anyway. Just see his head poking out from the other side. He's probably already shot off. Where was he? Oh, he's already gone. They're such shy animals, so that's why trying to catch one like that is actually useful, because you can get a good look at them. Obviously we saw those individuals a bit further south. Ah, it's a kingfisher. See that? Hopefully that's on film. So, when you're herping in habitat like this by the side of a stream, it's always worth flipping over some decent looking rocks just to see if we can get any of the water snake species. Obviously here we're looking for Natrix mora. Always put your rocks back where you found them. Essentially the best rocks you want to look for are flatter ones that lie sort of flat on top of the ground. Don't dig in too much. There's that kingfisher again you can hear coming past. What the snakes want to do is they want to sandwich themselves quite tightly underneath a rock, and in a nice flat space allows them to do that easily. So they're the best type of rocks. I mean, after a while you get used to picking out the rocks you want to flip. Obviously, look around, I can't flip all these rocks, so I just want to pick out the best looking ones and have the best shot. Obviously there's some I can't even flip. So, as usual in Morocco, when flipping stuff, no result. I always find that in this country it's very hard to flip animals. You flip a lot of small geckos, never once flipped a snake. I've flipped a few skinks. It's always worth doing, of course, but it's just not as productive as other methods. And look, I could spend all day flipping rocks in here. So, just trying to kill some time while we're waiting to get the flight. We don't want to go into the airport too early. So we're spending our last moments flipping crap. Hopefully trying to find something near the airport. I don't really want to go home, to be honest. What about you guys?
No, it's been good.
Same really, you know. Feels like you could spend so much time here trying to find more things.
Yeah, never stops. Yeah. Although, I don't think I'd come back again at this time of year. It's tricky. But we got Ekis. I think that's the best thing that we've found, in my opinion.
I tend to agree.
So maybe we'll come back and do another video at a better time of year and actually find Bitis.
Or Naja.
Or Naja.
Or Grizzly.
Or Grizzly, yes. Yeah, maybe we should come for Grizzlies next time. Right, that's it. We just done a really pointless herping session in basically a trash heap.
It's a pile of shit.
Looking for Troganophis, but we found nothing. And Sonny's basically broken his ankle on the flattest ground known to man. Even though we've been herping basically like Mount Vesuvius, yeah, this children's sand pit, he's broken his ankle in. So that's the herping done. Fortunately, it's been a good trip. Been a good trip. What's your favourite moments? For me, it's the Ekis. I've been before, failed with them.
I mean, it has to be the Ekis, just based off the fact that the likelihood of finding them was very poor.
Exactly.
And actually getting them was pretty fucking poor.
Sonny?
Obviously, the mighty toad. I don't really care about the Ekis.
Did we even film that?
I didn't even bother filming the toad.
I came here for the toad and I found it, so I'm pretty happy.
Chameleon was good. Chameleon was another
good.
one that I've missed off. But once again, when I come here, I'm feeling
like a Bitis.
Defeated. Yeah, like a Bitis. I need a Bitis in my life.
I mean, to be fair,
again,
the Cobra would have been there.
The Cobra is what I came for. It's always unrealistic at this time of year, but that means that we have to come back again. There's no doubt about it. So maybe we'll go again and we'll get better at filming. We'll go for Grizzlies next time.
Yeah,
we'll get some good film of Grizzlies. But for now, back to the UK, back to 1 degree.
And just like that, the trip was over. But what a trip it was, and what a great team we've got. They don't want to waste moisture because it's a dry, arid environment. Cerastes do the same thing, and that's to sort of ward off predators. This one's just take a look at what it looks like when you actually see them. So when they're like that, they stand out quite obviously. To be honest, high CRI flashlight helps. Written on the front, all across this.
What's that?
Okay, I'm a bit too excited not to share this right now and literally going to do it at the moment. Look at that.